How's everybody doing? Welcome to week 2 of virtual lacrosse training. I'm going to share my screen here with you. I'm going to get into it. This video will be for the defensive guys as well as for the we'll touch on the goalies and the face-off guys as well. So going to get it shared here and hold it right up to Red Dog Lacrosse. So this is the link that you guys will have in your emails and in your text, take you to this page, the virtual training page. And what we did was we took week 2 and put it right on top of week 1. So if you scroll down, you'll see that there's a color change, and here's your week 1 videos, and then week 2 is right on top of that. Now I already did the offensive voiceover video, so this is going to be the defensive voiceover video. Some of the clips that we're going to use or we're going to share, and both guys are going to do the same thing, both groups, offense and defense. Some of them are obviously going to be different. So on the defensive end, we're going to start with our wall ball series, which is the same as what the offensive guys are doing. The only thing that we're not going to do with the defensive guys is the one-handed stuff with the offense that the offense did. So our focus here, find a wall, preferably one that's got a little bit of height to it, and we're just starting with pointing our butt end to the target, one cradle, getting it out of our stick, working strong hand and weak hand, and just trying to maximize our reps, trying to get lots of touches, hopefully move our feet a little bit more than I do. But really put a lot of emphasis, and we're not going to go with the one-hand stuff for the defense. Really put a lot of emphasis on one cradle and getting it out, pointing your butt end right to the target and being accurate with your throws. Try to pick a spot on the wall, a specific brick or a scuff mark, whatever it may be, and try to hammer that spot over and over again. So let me skip through the one-handed ones here, and then we'll get to the next one that the poles will be doing. So the next one that the poles will be doing is called 3-level release. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw overhand, we're going to throw sidearm, and then we're going to go throw underhand. We're going to throw underhand, we're going to throw sidearm, and then we're going to throw overhand. And what we're working on here is obviously multiple different release points. And again, we want to be moving our feet with this, keeping active on the bottom end of our body. But we're working on trying to hit, being accurate and hitting a certain spot all the time, but being able to vary where we're releasing it from. So this can help us when we're clearing the ball, having to throw a pass around a riding defender, or if a guy's cutting to the goal and we want to make a feed to him and we don't have a great angle to pass it, we can throw it in a different way to make sure we get the ball there. Okay, the third one we're going to do is we're going to catch, we're going to square up, we're going to do a little split dodge, run to the other cone, and throw it on the run. So catch, square up our defender who's the cone, square him up, split him, come to that next cone, turn, get our hips and our shoulders facing towards the wall, get some rotation on that pass, and then throw a good hard pass and catch it off of that. Next one we're going to do is similar, but now we're going to be rolling. So we're going to catch, we're going to drop our hips, and we're going to roll. And watch the focus here. The importance is not only are our hips dropping, but when we're switching hands, we're not switching our hands until we've turned our back. So we turn our back, and now we switch our hands so that our shoulders are protecting the change of hands. Long poles might want to get that stick out a little bit further away from you. You use the length of your arms as stick protection here. Maybe get your hands out a little bit this way. These two hands out this way so that you can protect the stick a little bit easier and nobody can throw a wrap check on you. But you want to make sure that you're turning your back before you're switching your hands. That's the key. Dropping your hips as you turn your back so that you can explode out of that roll and into your next move. The last one that we're going to work on is called QB-RB. So here we're working on backpedaling, getting away from pressure, being our quarterback footwork, and then RB, which is coming downhill, throwing the ball towards where we're going, which would be our running back footwork. So ball's going to stay in your same hand. So there's RB coming towards, then we switch, and now we're going the other way. Quarterback, backpedal, 3 or 4 steps, backpedal, throwing it on the run, and then catching it with the same hand and coming downhill. Backpedaling with our left, getting our shoulder up so that we can getting our elbows and our shoulder up so that we can throw a good pass with some distance on it without it going into the ground. Then we catch it and we come right back downhill and throw it off the wall. Switch hands, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, back pedal, throwing it on the run, catching it, coming right downhill towards the target. And one more time, 1, 2, 3, there's a 3-step back pedal, catch, come downhill. And that's kind of how it works. So that's RB, QB. You'll have the amount that we're looking for you to do listed right on the Red Dog website. Okay, so after we get done with our wall ball series, then we're going to go into 2 different drills that are focused on footwork. The first one being 5-cone shuffle and run. This is one that you don't need a partner for, but it's better if you get a partner. So basically what we did is we set it up. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 balls that are set up in kind of like a, I don't know, a hexagon, half a hexagon shape. So this white ball and this orange ball here, you can see are both on the black line, so they're even together. And then these 2 balls are even with each other, but we're creating this kind of, little odd shape here. And what we're going to do is, in between these middle balls, we're going to sideways run, and on the outside, we're going to shuffle. So our goal here is really to work on firing our hips around, making that distinction between shuffling and running sideways, which I think is one of the most important things when you're working on your defensive footwork, is being able to shuffle at times and being able to run at times, but always being able to keep pressure on the dodger by keeping your chest square to the guy you're covering. So if you have a partner, when you get to these outside cones, that partner can toss a ball to you. You can catch it and throw it back, just as a way to add a little bit of, so a little bit of lean and a little bit of bend at the end of the drill. But what's really most important is getting our hips fired around here. So let's take a look at Coach Donahue repping it out. So he's sideways run, fire that outside hip around. Now he's going to shuffle. He's going to catch and give it back. Shuffle, sideways run, fire the hips around, shuffle, give it back. Shuffle, sideways run, shuffle, fire the hips around. Good. Shuffle, sideways run, fire the hips around, and shuffle. That was a really good rep there. If I run that back so you can see that one. We're shuffling here, and then when we get to this cone, which is, we get to the ball, now we're sideways running. Good. And then watch how he's going to push off of his inside leg here and fire his outside hip around to get into his shuffle. That's the key right there. That's really the skill that we're working on, is firing off that inside leg, getting that outside leg to come around and shuffle is the key to this drill. Fire it. You got a good one there too. Trying to stay low, making sure we stay athletic here and we can move our hips quickly while we're shuffling. Pretty good reps across the board there from Coach. I guess I'll let it run out. Sideways run, fire the hips around, shuffle. Good, and that's about it. All right, so that's the 5-cone shuffle and sideways run drill. You can do that with or without a partner. It's better with a partner because you get to work on making that catch on the corner and getting a little hand-eye involved with it. But it's not imperative that you have the partner there. You can do it without it if you need to. Next one we got is just a little bit of a footwork drill we call diamond dropbacks. So you're doing a bunch of different things with this drill. So we're going to start, set up 4 cones in a diamond here, like right around outside the goal. You don't even need the goal, so it can be anywhere on the field. The goal is not really all that important for this drill, but we're working on a bunch of different footwork techniques. So you're going to start at this center cone, stick out to poke. You're going to kick back and drag your feet in your initial back pedal, and then what I want you to do is turn and sideways run to this cone here. So that's the start. Kick back, turn and sideways run. When you get here, now you're going to approach this cone, break down with a poke, then we're going to slide across like we're getting in position ready to be the hot guy. So we should be having our stick up, trying to get a piece of the crease, getting ready to slide. So we're going to slide across and shuffle. Then we're going to slide. We're going to break down with a poke, pick up a GB, throw it back to the middle, and then come right back and do it the opposite direction. So again, kick back and drive, find the cone, approach the cone, break down with a poke, get in position to slide. I'm hot, I'm firing, I'm going, break down with a poke, pick up the GB. That's kind of the whole drill. Backpedal and drive, turn and run, approach the cone with a poke, shuffle in position to slide, break down with a poke, pick up a GB. All right, now run back. You can shoot it to the goal like Coach did. Get some reps, I love it. Now we're going to run back and do the same thing. Approach the opposite cone, shuffle across, get in position to slide, come out, break down with a poke, pick up the GB. Good. So that's diamond dropbacks. That's an example of a defensive footwork drill that's really just focused on getting a lot of different reps working on different things with our footwork. Kind of the meat and potatoes here of our defensive work for the day is our approach footwork. So here we're talking approach footwork, and we're really putting an emphasis on a couple different things: kick back and drive, kick back and swivel. So what you need here is these other cones are just set up from the last drill. It's really just about having one major cone up in the alley. And, you want to be about 16, 17 yards from the goal in a spot where we would pick up a dodging player as he's beginning his dodge in our 6v6 defense. And what our focus is on here is our footwork as we approach. So we're working on our initial back pedal against the dodger. And the big points of emphasis here is our top foot, getting a good kickback so that we have some room to work with as the Dodger comes towards us. So what we're going to do here, if I can get the video to play here, is just get maximum amounts of reps on our initial kickback. So you can see I don't do a great job of staying low and staying athletic. Coach Donahue does a much better job of it, but hopefully you can see the fundamentals that we're looking for. So with our top foot, we kick back hard off this top foot, drive this back foot, and then we're going to drag our top foot to get depth. So kick back and drive, get to a spot, and then return. Kick back, drive, stay low, get right back. Kick back, drive, stay low. Try to keep our shoulders square to the Dodger as much as possible. We're going to get 5 or 6 reps here, staying low in our stance, trying to be as athletic as possible. Hopefully a little more athletic than I look. Coach Donahue does a little bit of a better job of staying low. So really putting a big emphasis on kicking off that top foot and dragging it, really working on getting depth with our back pedal so that as a Dodger comes towards us when he makes his first move, we're able to get some depth with him while staying square, and then we can determine if we need to shuffle or if we need to turn and sideways run, if we need to jam, whatever it may be as our next step. We want to make sure we get this good kickback and drive first so that we can stay in front of the Dodger as long as possible. Just more reps of Coach Donahue working on the same thing here. So we get 2 kickbacks and drives, and now we go to the next step of it, which is we get 2 kickbacks and drags, I should say, and now we're going kickback and drive. So now we kick back, we get good depth with our initial drop, and then this Dodger starts to turn on us. So now what we want to do is push off of our right foot and drive down the alley, get a jam of them, and keep them outside. So now we're repping out kickback and kickback drag to a drive. Kickback drag, drive down the alley, stay low, get a good jam, disrupt the shot, keep them out of the scoring position. Kickback, drive, and now push them down the alley. So we're repping out 2 different ideas here. Getting a good kickback for a back pedal and then turning and forcing down the alley. And we want to make sure we keep that stick upfield. Don't go to V-hold and a guy going down the alley with your strong hand. Coach did a little bit of that there, but I think he adjusted here. Kickback, good. Keeping that stick upfield, trying to keep your chest square to the Dodger as he goes downhill to avoid the rollback. Staying in trail position on his back hip and driving him is the key here. Getting a good kickback, then turning, pushing off that upfield foot and driving him down to a lower angle. Kickback, turn, drive, good. Now here we go to the next portion of the drill, which is kick back and drag into a swivel. So now what we're working on is we're getting depth against the Dodger. We're trying to keep him away from getting to the middle, but he's a good Dodger and he gets to the middle on us. How do we push off of our opposite foot now to go to the opposite direction, take away the middle, and then turn him back and get him back to going where we want? So the first time through is just an example of me shadow dodging against Coach so he can get the reps on it, working on swiveling his hips, pushing off of that left foot instead of the right foot. Excuse me, I think we did 2 examples of it here to rep it out. So if we watch the footwork here from Coach Donahue, kick back off of this foot, dragging that top foot now and getting some depth on his initial drop back. And then as I get top side, Coach is going to push off of this left foot to explode top side to take that away from me. He's going to get top side, swing this hip around. His right hip is going to swing around, force me to go back down the alley, which he does. And then when he gets here, he's going to drive, get in trail position. So when we say trail position, we want him 1 step behind the Dodger to avoid the rollback and driving on my bottom hip. He does a really good job there driving me out of shooting position. So, if you have a partner that you can work with, that's great. But really, I just wanted to show you guys that so you saw what we're working on. And then now here's the footwork. So kick back and drag. And then now we're going to push off of this left foot and explode to the top side. We're going to swing our right hip around, swing that right hip around, and now force him to go back down the alley, push off of that right foot now and drive. Like to see me dropping my hips a little bit, standing up a little bit too tall. But, decent job of getting those hips spun around. The big thing here is swiveling your hips. So Coach Donahue does a good job swiveling those hips and driving. Again, want to see us drop our hips a little bit at the end of that when we're driving so that we get good leverage on our jam. But back pedal, pushing off that left foot, then swinging our right hip around, forcing that guy to go down the alley. That's the key to that drill. So you'll get a bunch of different reps working on that. If you have a partner, that's great. If you don't have a partner, you can obviously do all of it by yourself. And then the last piece for your defensive stick work is getting some shooting reps in, which I'm sure you guys will enjoy. So this is four split rapid fire. This is the same drill that the offensive guys are doing for their shooting work. But it's one that O and D guys can equally do and get a ton of reps on, and it's beneficial for both of you. So what we've worked on with the offensive guys so far is their 4 different split dodges. If you as a defender want to spend some time learning those, that would be important as well. Take a look at the week 1 virtual training to learn the 4 different split dodges. But basically what they are is their 3-step split, hop split, stutter split, and slide split. And I think all of them work for defenders. Slide split probably the least amount because that's mostly a one-handed dodge. But the other 3 you definitely can do as a defender. So figure out what you like best as a D guy. I would say maybe focus on just one split dodge and repping that out a bunch. But the key here is we're working on shooting on the run. So points of emphasis on shooting on the run, getting our hands back, getting a rotation of our core, really trying to finish with our outside shoulder, our outside hip, all the way to the goal so that we're getting our body completely rotated around. So here we go on the first time, 3-step split dodge. We set up, we got 3 cones. We put the balls in the middle of the cones, right in the center of the goal. And we go 3-step split dodge down the alley. And what we're working on is really pushing off that outside leg, getting rotation of our core all the way around, shooting for the opposite corner. And I didn't do a great job of getting my left shoulder there, finishing all the way on the back pipe. And that's a big part of the reason why my shot was inaccurate. So now we're going to go hop split, hop, right, left explosion. And again, a little bit better rotation, but not great. You can see my momentum as a shooter is still going away from the goal as opposed to going towards the goal. I got to do a better job of making sure I get my body going towards the goal. Here we go, stutter in a 3-step. This one I do a little bit of a better job of getting rotation on the shot. Still not great, but a little bit better. When you see Coach Donahue shoot on the run, he does a much better job than I do of getting his body all the way around, and he gets more power on it. As he was a midfielder in college who shot a lot of downhill shots. I was an attackman who really was never great at this skill and something that I should have been better at. And then this last piece is the slide dodge. And so we're sliding into it, and then we're making a quick split dodge, turning and getting our hips turned. This was a jump shot, which is one of the ways that you can shoot it if you want to. That's just a different option depending on how much space you have to shoot it. So here's Coach Donahue going to go 3-step split dodge. See how Coach gets his back shoulder all the way around? That's going to get you more power on your shot on the run and really going to allow you to be more powerful and more accurate and shoot your shot on the run with more consistency. Here Coach is going to go hop split. Look at that rotation. That's the key right there. That's what makes this shot work. The rotation. Watch his back hip come all the way around. That's the key. The rotation of the hips, getting those hands back, rotating the hips. That's where you get power. That's where you get deception, hiding that shot from the goalie. It's where you get speed and accuracy. That's the whole thing right there, is that rotation of the hips. Pretty good rotation with the left hand too, even though the hands aren't as far back. Still getting that good rotation. And then here's the last piece, sliding into it and shooting it on the run. Coach gets a nice rotation on it, shooting a little more side on, but gets a lot on it and is able to shoot it with some accuracy. So those are the drills for the defenders. For the goalies, you guys are going to do the wall ball series that everybody else did. Same reps, working on getting your stick work up. And then there's 2 different drills from the coaches convention that I grabbed for you that you'll need to listen to the audio in order to pick them up. But one of them being a ball toss drill where you need a partner or a wall and you're catching the balls with your hands, and the other one being a goalie wall ball drill where you're shooting the ball off the wall and making saves with your goalie stick. 3 different drills in here for the face-off guys. Again, these are coming from Greg Garinlian and the Face-Off Academy staff, so make sure you take a look at those and listen to what he's got to say. He's one of the best face-off coaches in the world, and he can teach it to you a lot better than I can. So I put his videos up there so you guys can learn from him. But certainly when we have our individual meetings, we'll have conversations about them, and happy to answer any questions and try to guide you through the process. We can reach out to the FOA staff or Face-Off Factory, any of those groups if we want to as well, and try to get some individual lessons for you guys with some of those face-off coaches. So keep me posted on that. we'll meet Tuesdays and Thursdays to go over these drills and get better every week. All right, man.